Hi, my name's Randy. Welcome to my base. It's been a while since this made an appearance in a video. I've worked on so many other things, games and Halloween builds and what have you, that I've really been neglecting the base. Or have I? I've actually been doing a lot of work. Roads and street lamps and more trees and what have you. But this structure, my giant greenhouse that I built way long ago, months ago now, has still remained empty, and really the only thing it contains is a drop chute to an underground lair where I keep a bunch of little random farms, a villager trading hall, some storage and stuff like that. Well, today we're going to make one small step. It's actually a pretty major step if you're a Minecrafter in changing that, and that is we're going to move our storage up to our main base. The way that we're going to approach the storage is with these little guys. So we're on 1.21.10 in our server, and we have access to these cute little spinny headed fools. And I'm going to utilize them in a somewhat unorthodox way. At least I hope to. I'm planning to use them in a somewhat unorthodox way to help me sort and filter and you know, do all those types of things that they're programmed to do in my storage facility. Today, though, we're going to mess around with their mechanics a little bit and make sure that my idea is viable. Most people that I've seen utilize these fellas by trapping them in a minecart or behind some chests, behind a wall or something along those lines, and you can't really see them. And the whole point is to see these guys. You may be aware that I've already done a little bit of this kind of thing with 2 alleys, or 4 alleys, quite a few alleys, over in my little mini nursery greenhouses way over there. I'm utilizing them in a wheat farm, I'm utilizing them in a sugarcane farm, and I'm using the alleys in a bamboo farm. So that's what I'm planning on doing with this little guy, is I'm going to have him out in the open so people can see him, so I can see him, and you can hear him, and you can see his little spinny head and what have you. Now, given they are a little frustrating to work with, I understand that. I know that you can't necessarily just have them wild in your base and expect anything good to come of it. So you do have to somewhat restrict their movement, which I am planning on doing. And you know what? Let's stop talking. Let's just get to it. Let's get to the experimentation. So first step is the shelves. For anyone who's watched my channel for a little while, they know that I really like to put storage in shelves like this. You know, I like them 1 block off the ground. It's like a weird rule that I have that I can't just set chests directly on the ground. Here is my creeper farm. This is my gunpowder farm, and you'll see I have a lot of these types of things. This is my collection for the gunpowder. I have another chest over there. And let's head over to my nurseries where you'll see more of the same. So this is my bamboo collection facility. More shelves. This is my wheat collection where this little ally steals the wheat from this villager and drops it into, well, he missed, but he'll do it again. He'll do it again. Here we go. And drops it into a block over here, which has a hopper, and then drops into this chest. And over on this side, I have a mirrored version of a nursery, which is for sugarcane. And same deal. So lots of shelves of double chests. Here's my collection of double chests. Nonetheless, that's how I want to display things. I don't want chests up against a wall. I want chests kind of freestanding in a shelving unit, so you can kind of see the depth. You know, it looks more real to me. It feels better to me. Where'd he go? That's the great thing about these guys, is they hang very close to their copper chest. They won't wander too far because they have to check it every couple seconds. So I'm going to use that to my advantage. Now, if there's more than 1 copper chest, obviously he's going to wander between all of those copper chests. That is a difficulty, because if you want a good sorting facility, you need more than 1 copper golem, and you probably need more than 1 copper chest, or else the thing is just going to go so slow, and it's just going to be very difficult to sort all the items in this crazy game where we have hundreds and hundreds of items. First objective, I want to see the copper golem. Second objective, I want to be able to put the chests in a shelving unit like I do in my other builds. Let's put together a quick shelving unit right now, just to kind of show you what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, and they don't like trapdoors. I forgot about that. This layer actually may, and I was prepared for this. This layer is probably going to have to be shelves. Get out of here. Okay, we're gonna just move you over here for a second. Come on, go over to your thing. There we go. Okay, so we're probably going to have to do something like this for that bottom layer because these guys are totally going to get stuck walking into trapdoors. Most of my shelving units actually have an open bottom. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually close off the bottom and use that for item displays of what's in the chests. We don't need to have trapdoors here because of the fact that this is cut off. So I could probably just use, let me just use scaffolding for now. This is just going to be temporary. So something like this is probably going to be what we have. Let me go grab another shelf really quick and we'll get right back. Boom, right there. And then I need some chests on the top, which I forgot to grab. So these chests will actually contain items that are filtered. So that'll be 6. I like 3, I like a 3 block thing because I think that just, it's more symmetrical, so it'll be easier to integrate into the build. That's the shelving unit I think that we'll go with. I am going to have to put this guy back here. However, aesthetically, it looks a lot better than having this right up against a wall. So I am going to make these freestanding. I'll probably put them against windows though. So you'll be able to see the copper golem from the outside. However, from the inside, you'd have to kind of squirrel around in order to see them. We're going to move this chest, maybe right here. All right, now he's going to go through there and then filter through these 6. However, I don't think he's going to be able to reach more than 1 block above his head. So we're going to have a block right here for him to be able to reach these 6, I'm pretty sure. So let's experiment with that really quick. Let's just do a single block of something, a single item rather, of something. Let's put my rockets in there. Yeah, this in there, and then maybe, yeah, I got some logs. Let's do that. Okay, so if I put these logs in here, let's watch. Let's see what he does. Oh, he's stuck in the scaffolding. Okay, can't use scaffolding. This is supposed to be just temporary anyways. Let's get rid of the scaffolding. You fool. Oh, you guys are so frustrating. All right, let's see. Oh, did he just pick it first? No, he's supposed to pick it first. Okay, let's do, let me think here. Here, instead of going downstairs, let me just pull out my crafting table. And let's get some slabs. That way I'll still have like a bottom to it. Yeah, that'll look good. Now it still has a bottom, so that looks cool. This empty chest is farther away than any of these other chests by blocks. I think it should be. So let's see if that works. All right, let's pop a spruce log in there and let's see how he works. Okay. 1 chest, 2 chests. Oh no, it's not far enough away. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, let's move this 1 more block away. Like there, and let's see if that will work. Let's put all my rockets in there. Let's see if he does that. Okay, so he's got a stack, 1 chest. 2 chests. 3. 4. Oh, why did he go to that one? Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, let's put it 1 more block away. Why are you going that far? These are far closer. Let's put that 1 stack, 16, because that's how many they grab. And then let's put something random in there too, like these jungle shells. There we go. All right. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. That is wild that he is going all the way to this chest. Look at how much farther away that chest is than these 2 chests. Okay, I'm just gonna take away that chest for a second. Let's see if maybe his AI needs to be reset. He does not like these chests. Can he not reach him? He reaches these ones. He's going through those 4 again. Okay, maybe he needs another block on this side then to check. Okay. Yep. He needs that block. Okay. Okay, good, good, good. Now let me try the chest. Let's try to put it closer this time. Okay, did he check this one yet? Not sure if he checked that one yet. We're about to find out because I think, okay, let's exchange this with this and this with this. Okay. Because that's the chest with the rockets in it. Nope, he's not checking that. Okay, let's move this one more away. Okay, let's see what he does. Okay, he went through them all, and now, yep, perfect. Okay, all right, that is working. So I have to get this a nice distance, and I have to have two step stools for him, essentially. Let's make sure he checks this one before. Yeah, perfect. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, cool. All right, we're gonna pause for a second here, and I'm going to work a little bit on this design. I don't like this chest just hanging out here. And I'm also going to introduce the next feature. I think I have a winner. This is what it would look like from the back. From the front, it wouldn't change whatsoever. Obviously, this is a temporary block. I have a couple temporary blocks in here just because I'm doing a proof of concept here. This is not the final design. However, I went back to a single block because it seems like as soon as I lock them in, I mentioned the key thing, the differentiator from how I'm doing things from how I've seen other people do this. I'm using the old mechanic of carpet above sweet berry bushes. That is what these things are called, right? Sweet berries are planted right beneath these pale moss carpets. Luckily, I did the flooring in tough bricks, so these pale moss carpets fit fairly well. And with a little bit of texturing, a little bit of adding the actual full moss blocks, the pale moss blocks outside, it won't stand out as much. But right now, with how these are placed, this guy will not move. And just to prove that, let me go grab another copper chest. In the end, I am somewhat chaining them into a specific location. However, that location is dynamic. I can expand this very easily. I can expand this little shield, kind of like like those collars that cruel dog owners put on their dogs, the electric zap collars in their yard or what have you. But I put this down right here, and he sees it just to prove it. He won't go for it. He won't go for it because he knows that if he jumps down, well, at least he thinks if he jumps down, he's going to hit those sweet berry bushes. So his AI is preventing him from going any farther. My idea is that each station will have somewhat of a dynamic border around, and that dynamic border will keep them in to their specific jurisdiction, so to speak. So they can still wander within reason, and that will allow me to cycle items from one module. These 6 chests I'm considering a module, maybe 5, maybe 7 chests, because this guy is the overflow chest. So these 7 chests will be a module, including a copper chest, which I'll put right there. When he's done filtering through all of these 6 and then he drops the overflow, what I'll do is I'll connect a hopper beneath this chest and then cycle it to the next module. So I can spread these out all through the greenhouse. I probably won't get too ridiculous with it because I I do want them in a centralized area. This is my storage facility. So got to keep that in mind. But I'm going to centralize them in an area, probably somewhere similarly shaped to this. I don't want to use one of the main wings like I'm in right now. I'm thinking that I'll use the back wing just to kind of see. It looks like a squatter version of one of these long ones. But it does have a lot of space back there. So I'm thinking of using that. I was considering the dome as well, this giant dome. However, I think for this, I want to just basically make this more of a decorative room where I'll have a giant tree in here. I'll have a series of these modules connected with hoppers beneath the floor and droppers that are basically cycling the items around. It won't be the fastest, I know that for sure, but that is not my objective. Again, my objective was I want to see the golems. I want them to be able to move around. I want to see their actions. I want to see their cute little spinny heads. And I want the storage, the actual chests themselves, to be a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. So again, a shelving unit would be ideal, which is what I really enjoy. I enjoy this kind of look. These slots will be used to display what's in the chest. I'm not going to use item frames. That's totally ideal. I might even put some on this side. That's still up for debate. For these shelves on this side, I have to put because he gets very confused and he thinks that he can walk through trapdoors if I use trapdoors. Let's test it really quick. I already tested it, but just to prove my point here, I'm gonna put some things that are filtered, some things that are not filtered, just kind of toss some stuff in there. I believe this sweet berries that he's carrying right now are not filtered. I have none of those in any of these 6 chests. So he should end up putting it into that chest right down there. There he goes. All right, so at this point, in the full system, I'll have a hopper, and that hopper will suck those items out and then drop it into the next module. All right, I think these might be filtered. Yes, so these were filtered right here. Rockets, I think, are up here, so we'll hopefully find that. I believe I configured this so this chest is seen as farther away from this copper chest than any of these 6. Which makes sense because it's sunk into the ground and it's pushed back 1. Obviously, I'll have to make this hole a little bit more decorative. You can't really see it that well unless you're kind of right on top. And again, I think this back section, I think I'm going to push it against the window for the most part. But I might have a few of these units just like I have right now where they're kind of in the center. I'm also thinking of switching this block and to something a little more decorative. Maybe a copper grate or something like that. Or maybe just a slab. I'm not sure yet. All right, he did it. Boom, boom, boom. Cool. So that is my idea. Let's get to building. as I tend to do, I overdid it a little bit. So it fits everything from my previous storage facility, which was just a hole in the ground. I have a space for pretty much every block in the game. Obviously, I'm not dedicating an entire chest to each block. Like blocks, like for instance, oak logs and all the accoutrements that are of oak variety are all in one, and spruce and so forth and so on. It is a little noisy, these little guys, but I really don't mind it. I know some people have complained that them constantly shuffling through the copper chests and then through, obviously, the regular chests is irritating, but I really don't mind it whatsoever. It is time consuming to get all the way around everything, which it starts over here, wraps around here, goes through here, wraps again around here, then here, and then it goes through the middle bit and finally ends up here for the overflow. So essentially I drop everything that I want sorted here, and then this chest will pick up the overflow. I currently don't have every item represented. Deep slate, for instance, there's so many different varieties of deep slate. So I'm allowing things to flow through and then end up in the overflow chest. And then when they do, then I'll just place them in the right chest. I'm not super particular because before I had no filtering whatsoever. This is just a net benefit for me. I love it. I love watching these little guys work, just seeing them, their little heads spin around and you know, they're kind of out in the open, so to speak. I mean, some of them are kind of tucked away, like this poor little guy is kind of tucked back here. But for the most part, I put them all against the glass, so even the ones that aren't visible from the inside are visible from the outside. It's absolutely great. I could not be more happy with this type of filtering. I was really looking forward to these guys coming into the game as soon as Mojang announced their existence. And finally, I managed to go ahead and add them into this facility. The majority of the functionality is beneath the floor. Obviously, these guys are the main filter, but if they can't find it in the 6 chests in front of them, they'll go down here, just as he's doing right now, dump it into a empty chest, which has a hopper beneath. The hopper has a chain that sends it to the next chest, and then I have basically, or in the next copper chest, I should say. Then I have a little observer clock that hits these droppers, so 2 droppers that pump it up into that chest, and then this guy will try to sort it and then drop it again, and then so on and so forth. So it's just a chain reaction that carries all the way through. It did take quite a bit of hoppers. I have an iron farm, so it's really not that big of a deal. And I also have a bamboo farm, so wood isn't a big deal. So crafting all these hoppers is really easy peasy for me. The only area that got a little funny was these guys, because they're kind of surrounded by sweet berries beneath this carpet. And essentially that prevents me from hitting the droppers like I hit them over here. So I had to kind of push the redstone down a bit, wrap it around, and then have one observer, which you can't really see, but it's kind of hidden right over here. I think it turned out really good though. I added a little bit of decoration as far as all my crafting blocks on my workstations, kind of scattered them about. I sunk the crafting tables into the ground on either side. Obviously you need crafting tables for a lot of stuff. And I also got a infinite water source right here. That's all the time I have for today. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please like and subscribe. And another reminder, every Monday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, I stream, usually on Astraea, but sometimes in a creative world. This Monday, probably we'll be streaming maybe some trees and landscaping and stuff around. It's a fun time, and chat is very lively, and it gives you a chance to, see behind the scenes and what have you. Without further ado, have a good one.